Hi, I'm Eduardo Naret with Campus Reform. We're in West Palm Beach at the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit asking students about liberal bias on their campus. So have you faced liberal bias on your campus?
Oh, of course. I think we all have. Recently, we started a new chapter at Hamlin University in Minnesota, and the biggest thing that we've faced is really big pushback, not only from students, but from actual faculty, and that's been the scariest part. There was actually an email thread about a month ago, and they were saying that there's some ideas that just simply shouldn't be expressed on college campuses. And so it was, hearing about these people, not only are we paying money to this institution, but these people, they truly want us out.
Trying to start a chapter on campus right now, and it's been extremely difficult. Everybody basically from the left is trying to stop me from being able to have my own free speech and being able to do what I want to do. So you see it every single day on campus. It's super difficult.
Well, I table on campus with Turning Point USA, so we get a lot of liberal bias from the professors that are there. They come up and they harass us about our taxation is step signs mostly because a lot of them are self-proclaimed socialists and they just don't like what we have and they don't want us to share our message with anyone.
Liberal bias, my RA has once said that she has an implicit bias against straight white males because of privilege.
A lot of liberal bias we faced is back when Brett Kavanaugh was getting confirmed. The leftist students on our campus, University of Texas San Antonio, caused a massive riot, lots of property damage, several conservative students were injured. I want to say there was only one conviction that happened from that.
One of the liberal bias that I faced on campus was the fact that they wouldn't allow us to table during certain events. They completely changed the rules on us.
Like, you can't talk in class. You're trying to shut up your viewpoint.
On my campus, the day after the election, there were people wearing like F Trump shirts and stuff like that, and my professors unapologetically just rant against Trump in class and stuff like that.
Yeah, people are very scared to be open about being conservative, which is frustrating because that means that the media has been successful in trying to silence conservative views because they want us to feel like we're the minority, even though there's way more people that actually have our views.
They tear down our posters for our club meetings. They go and they slander us for being racist, for being against America.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, one and all. You're watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. What's on tap for today? Well, as you saw, a little snippet there. This is a video from Campus Reform doing their reporting and asking basically college students, what's it like to be a conservative on many of these leftist liberal university and colleges on the campus. And so we saw some of what the reporting was saying. We saw what these conservative students were basically were speaking out against basically what they felt has been trying to squash their First Amendment rights. So what I want to do is play a little bit more of that clip. There's a little bit more following that, and go back and see what some of those students were saying and do a little reaction on those. So let's go to that clip right now.
Chapter at Hamlin University in Minnesota, and the biggest thing that we've faced is really big pushback, not only from students but from actual faculty, and that's been the scariest part. There's actually
that is the scary part, like he says. But what do you expect out in Minnesota? It's so blue out there. Although it is getting, the elections this last time, showed some promise, but still, it's going to take a Herculean task to try to convert, Minnesota from blue to purple to red. It's definitely going to take a long time. But like the student is saying here, it's just not the students that are giving pushback. It's the faculty. It's the administration. These kids are parents, and these kids are paying thousands and thousands of dollars to attend these universities. And they can't even speak their mind, or if they speak their mind, they're going to be ostracized. There are going to be threats against them. The professors are going to take it out on them in terms of grades and those kind of things. Folks, that is truly, truly not the way it should be on college campuses. We've said this so many times. It should be that the clash should be a clash of ideas, not a clash of violence or a clash of fanaticism. It should be a clash of ideas. Diversity through and through, diversity of thought, diversity of mind. You want diversity? Put it all on the table, right? That's exactly what it should be.
The liberal bias we faced is back when Brett Kavanaugh was getting confirmed. The leftist students on our campus, University of Texas San Antonio, caused a massive riot, lots of property damage, several conservative students were injured. I want to say there was only one conviction that happened from that.
So like this student is saying here, down in Texas, University of Texas, riots or, violence broke out. things were broken, buildings smashed, all kinds of things. Conservative students got injured. And like you said, only one person was arrested. That's what happens when you let kids get away with this kind of stuff. They think they can do it over and over and over again.
Your viewpoint.
On my campus, the day after the election, there were people wearing like F Trump shirts and stuff like that, and my professors unapologetically just rant against Trump in class and stuff.
And here you see once again, two more students basically saying that after the election, what were they doing? F Trump shirts. Their professors ranting and raving all against Trump, trying to basically say anything that you want to, voice your opinion, voice your diversity, talk about your aspect, talk about your conservatism, talk about your values. Can't do it. Professors don't want to hear it. They just steer the conversation. And if you do try to speak up, most of these leftist, socialist, Marxist professors will shut you down. And if they won't shut you down explicitly, then they certainly may take it out on your exams or your papers or those kind of things. I mean, that's what's happening, folks. It's out there. It is absolutely out there. You know it and I know it. And these students are telling you their stories of what they feel is happening on the colleges that they are paying thousands and thousands of dollars to go to. And they're being treated by this, having their First Amendment rights being shut down by not only the students, or threatened to be shut down by students and administration and faculty. Unbelievable, folks. Just absolutely unbelievable. Let's hear some more of these stories that are coming up.
I'm very loudmouth about my beliefs. And I've had people who have secretly oh yeah, I like Trump, but I don't want anybody to know that because, they see how some people treat me, but I just don't care because if people don't like me for my political beliefs, they're not people that I want to hang out with because they're not tolerant.
Well, at my last university, which I will not name, we were told in sociology class that classifying anyone as a certain gender without asking them was a bigoted thing to do. And we also learned that if you were white and you didn't like Barack Obama, it was because you were a racist.
Currently, I had a class where it was Middle Eastern politics. He exposed very anti-Semitic views to Israel.
One class in particular with a teacher, I have a Transformations in American Politics class, and I thought going in it was going to be pretty fun, pretty interesting, but it turned out to be all just bashing conservative ideology, bashing America as itself, and saying that we're a terrible place to live in.
So that's what you're doing, spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. You take a class, Transformation in Politics, think it's going to be fun, and what does it end up doing? Basically a serial bashing of the United States of America and how bad we are and how rotten we are and how the world completely hates us. I mean, that's exactly what's going on. It's unbelievable, unbelievable.
We should be pushing socialist policies and changing what we have here because it's not good enough.
Do you think it's tough to be a conservative on campus?
I definitely do. The only reason I am a strong conservative on campus is because I don't shut my mouth. So if you're a conservative out there, speak up for what you believe in, no matter if your grades might be in luau.
Yeah, I'd definitely say for me it's in the classroom. When you have someone that's the authority figure in the classroom, the students that will, of course, suck up to it don't ever want to necessarily stand up to the biased views.
Well, I think it's definitely hardest in the classroom. For example, with papers, if you have to write a paper about your views on politics, if you have to write a paper on your views on gender, if you have to write a paper on your views on American history, if you write your own opinion like me that America is a great country founded on Judeo-Christian values, then you get a low grade in your class.
If you could change the culture for conservatives on campus, if it's something that you could ask President Trump, or maybe it's something that we conservatives at the grassroots level could do to make it better, what would you say that is?
I'd say the executive order definitely helps because it helps us allow us to use our ability more freely.
I think one thing that Trump can do is, I think he might have already done it, is cut off funding from colleges that do not, defend students' rights, do not defend people's rights to have their own opinions.
That's exactly what needs to be done, folks. If you're a public school, now it's different for some of these private institutions, private colleges, private universities. If they're not receiving any money from the federal government, hey, they can do what they want. But public schools, If they don't allow conservative speakers, if they see that conservative universities and colleges are banning conservative speakers, or for that matter, any speaker from speaking, we need to be able to basically, you know what? Money talks, folks. Money talks. Shut off the spigot, shut off the faucet of funds that are going to these institutions, and you'll find out how quickly these institutions will shape up because they don't want that money to dry up.
If he could just like make the issues known and like show the world that these things are happening, because over and over again, like, people don't even acknowledge that people are getting flack for walking down the street in MAGA hats or getting beat up or different things.
I would say just don't be scared of the people who are in control. You have the First Amendment. We have rights to organize clubs.
It's been a force against what the media has been successful against, and it's silencing us. I actually don't think it's necessarily what Trump could do. It's what we have to do. It's not being
exactly,
silent, and that's our job.
Exactly. So there you have it, folks. You heard it right from these wonderful conservative students. Men, women, that's right, real biological men, real biological women, real conservatives, right? Not trans conservatives. No. These are real, honest to goodness, flesh and blood conservatives. And a lot of them, most of them basically said they don't give a crap what everybody else says and does. They're going to speak out. They're going to speak loud. And if they are trying to silence them, they are going to make sure that at least on their part, that doesn't happen to them. And that's all they can do, folks, is that, the battles are out there. You have to try to, fight these battles within the limits of what you can and can't do, and take it from there. One of the best things you can do is hey, everybody, got a camera, social media, get your stories out there. If they're pressuring you, they're not allowing you to form a club, or not allowing you to form an organization, or not allowing a speaker to come through. There's so many avenues now where you can get the story out there. And if you can light a fire on that story and get it out there into social media and let it, percolate and let it go ahead and explode, hey, next thing you know is you've got a media sensation and you have got the ability to change things for the better. Anyways, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host, Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, like, share, and above. Hit those video links above and below, wherever they're at. I'll leave you with my final thought, which is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Until then, take care and stay safe.